Hello again. In this little brief section, I just wanted to touch on the idea that Om is often used in conjunction with other mantras. When that happens, they essentially are having the same meaning as Om. So if we say, for example, Om Tat Sat, the word Tat refers to that, T-H-A-T in English. And if you describe the absolute reality called Brahman or Turiya or whatever word it is, when you describe that absolute reality, then you're saying, in effect, that's what we're talking about. So if Om is a symbol of all of reality and all the levels of consciousness, including these 7 that we're talking about here, then we say Om. Tat, Sat is reality, is consciousness. And so there's an example that the underlying meaning of Om Tat Sat is Om. Om Namah Shivaya. Some view that as being something about a deity, an anthropomorphic deity. You see symbols, icons or sometimes artistic paintings of a blue-skinned god, and he is called Shiva. The subtler meaning of Shiva is that it's a symbol of the absolute reality. And that symbol of the absolute reality manifests outward as a universe as Shakti. So you say Om Namah Shivaya, the Namaha part of that comes from Namam, which means nothing is mine, which means that in all the levels of the Ah and the in all the levels of the gross and the subtle and the causal planes of reality, in all of those levels, none of that is actually possessed by me. None of it is mine. Namaha. Om Namah Shivaya. And when you set aside, Namaha, that nothing is mine, when you set aside all of that, then what's left is the absolute reality called Shiva or Shivaya. So there, the heart, the central meaning of Om Namah Shivaya is essentially Om, but has a different flavor to it. If you take Gayatri Mantra or Mahamrityunjaya or many, many, many of the mantras, there's different ways of holding it, but at their heart is the Om. This is extremely, extremely common. Very often a writing, a scripture or an Upanishad will start with the word Om, sort of acknowledging that everything is a manifestation of that one process. And so again here you can pause this and read this if you want to read these 2 paragraphs a little bit, but it's just wanting here to make note that Om is not always used as a standalone just Om, and that is used in conjunction with other aspects of mantra. That's all that's here, short and sweet. And then in the next sections we will start to go through each of those 7 levels of consciousness. Okay? Thank you for visiting again. Thank you for hanging out with us. I hope you're enjoying it. I'm sure enjoying doing this with you. And so, see you for the next section, okay? Bye-bye. And remember, Om. Om leads to silence. Om leads us inward to our own silent center of consciousness. Om Tat Sat. Om Tat Sat.